Good evening, Vancouver. Welcome back to Canucks After Dark here on Monday, August 29th, our final show of the slowest month of the year, that is August. And folks, do we have a slow show for you tonight? As always, joined by my co-host, Canuck Clay. How are you doing today, Clay?
I am doing great, Parker. Yes, we'll talk about how we're going to adjust to the slowness of today, but I want to say thank you because we're both gearing up to see what we're going to do in the fall, and I know that I'm going to try a couple new things. And Parker, you took some time out of your day. You helped me last week, and honestly, I know you don't need the praise and you don't ask for it, but I want to heap you some praise. You probably saved me 3 to 5 hours of research, frustration, pulling out whatever little hair I have left. So who knows? It could all crash and burn on my very first night of trying to do it on my own, but I want to say thank you, and I want everyone to know that just how generous of a person you are, if they didn't know that already.
I am happy to help. It's I feel like it would be unfair for me to subject you to the things that I have spent the last year and a half while I've been doing Canucks After Dark, doing this all exact same process. Why wouldn't I at least, sort of transfer that knowledge forward? The bill is on the way for my time. It is a pretty aggressive rate, but I'm sure you can handle it.
Shucks, I didn't win any of those wagers too, so I can't even say take it off that. No, I'm doing well. Just getting the kids getting ready for school. Gail's getting ready to go back to school, and I'm starting a new course this week. So that's my kind of transition to September life. How about you?
I'm good. I'm enjoying summer, but part of me is like, I'm loving the warm weather, but part of me is, hockey's around the corner. It's getting exciting, and we're sort of trying to get some golf in as the season sort of ends. Went out yesterday, and as you can see, I got a little too much sun. It was supposed to be overcast. It was not overcast. I was live.
How'd you shoot?
84 at Langara.
Oh, nice.
I had never played there before. It was lovely. Yeah. And I think I'm getting back out there tomorrow. So not Langara, but another different course tomorrow, which will be fun. So, but yeah, this is our last show of August until guess next year when we have another August to deal with.
Does our season reset next week or no? Not yet.
I think it's did I do the league year last time? I don't remember. Okay. The league year, I guess, kind of starts in July or something. But I can tell you that our last one was technically episode 39 of season 2. So we should have I think we might have done the first game of the season was sort of our time that we started it. I'm actually gonna check.
Yeah.
No, it was not that one. It was before that. That was the 5th episode. Yeah. It was actually 4, 3, 2, 1. It was when we did our predictions. So it was September 13th. So probably 1 or 2 more, and then we will be at the new season.
It would actually make sense, not the Labor Day show, but the after Labor Day show could be the start of season 3 because that's the week preceding Young Stars. That could be an option. But we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. It doesn't matter that much.
No, it doesn't.
It will show up as season 3 eventually, which is great. We've almost survived two runs at this, and we'll keep it going into 22-23. I guess while we're here, you did sort of tease that you have a new endeavor going on for the 22-23 season. Do you want to?
Sure. Well, thank you, Parker. Yeah, thank you for allowing me to share. I'm going to try to do a nightly stream, but half an hour, not hour, not 45 minutes, not an hour 15. Half an hour, basically Sunday through Thursday. The Sunday one, not to confuse everyone, will be an hour long, but the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday will be half an hour, starting at 11 o'clock, all Monday through Thursday, because I'm a night owl, as you're aware, and then the Sunday night one will start at 10:30. So basically, all of them end at 11:30. If you follow the math, I'm not going to do Friday, Saturday. I want to give myself the freedom to not stream on certain nights, and hopefully, once there's Canucks news, it'll be very quick. It'll be 10 to 15 minutes of my commentary, 10 to 15 minutes of answering questions, and boom, all done. And then as you help me with, I'll kind of do what we do here, upload it as a podcast. So if anyone wants to listen to it, but I don't think I'm going to do anything specific, podcast specific, just kind of run it as my YouTube show kind of like this and what you do on your show, and then we'll see what happens. So just something different. We'll try it, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, if you ever need a guest, I am out. That is too late. So that was exciting. Sunday to Thursday.
You got it.
So keep your calendars open at 11 p.m. on those weeknights.
And do you know what you're doing for the season? Have you kind of thought about it?
I haven't figured it out yet.
Okay.
I've got I've sort of tried to close my brain off from all that for a while.
Good for you.
We'll see. So, stay tuned, folks.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
Awesome. Awesome.
All right, let's get into our big topics for the night. Anything?
Well, I guess we should warn our wonderful listeners and watchers or viewers, I should say. Parker and I, instead of like trying to stretch artificially, not that we do that, but we're pretty good at gabbing. But we thought so we can give the best energy and really be fair. We're gonna go for about 35 to 40 minutes tonight. We're gonna talk for about 25 minutes or so, talk about some topics, throw it over to you for about 10, 15 minutes, and then maybe wrap it up around the 40-minute mark instead of trying to get to an hour today, because there simply isn't enough to talk about. Right? We should try that.
Other than, like Jaskran just said, Aiden Hill being traded to the Vegas Golden Knights for a fourth-round pick, blockbuster to end off the month of August. I guess they also got Phil Kessel, which is much more interesting. Was that last week? Did we talk about that already?
Yeah, we did. Because
Okay,
remember people were telling it. Yeah, I think we did.
I guess,
does it move the needle? Not
no.
Aiden Hill.
A little. No. Aiden Hill, no. I mean, they don't have goalies, so I guess having another one can't hurt too much. But that's a thing that happened. There was sort of a big update article from Dranson Dollywall back on Friday that has a lot of talking points in it that I think we're going to sort of work our way through a little bit here today.
Okay.
And then we can also talk about. I thought there was one other thing, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, yeah. The 60,000 seat stadium coming to Surrey because we need one of those here when we already have one 30 minutes away that doesn't sell out ever.
Did you hear the clip of Halford and Bruff with Doug McCallum on their show?
I saw it, and then I got busy, and I didn't actually listen to it. And I was kind of scared to listen to it because I thought it would just hurt to listen to.
It was pretty funny because I think Jason Bruff was leading most of the questions, Parker, and he was not afraid to ask everyone asked Doug McCallum, the mayor of Surrey, what everyone was thinking, and it was really two things. It was, why on earth would you need a 60,000 seat stadium and why are you talking to the Canucks, because they're not going to go to Surrey and because they own their own arena, Rogers. And so they talked about that. And then of course the other one was, how can this be even partially government funded when the government they're funding already the BC Place, right? So why would they go and do another one? So, and Doug McCallum did not have good answers, as you could probably imagine.
Because there aren't any. There just aren't good answers. I was at BC Place on Tuesday last week for the weekend. And that was,
you went.
Yes, it was fantastic, but that was the fullest I've ever seen that place.
Yeah.
And it was awesome, but yeah, it's like we're not getting those big acts out to Surrey, right? There's like a couple of people that do 60,000 seat stadiums for concerts, right? Yeah. It's like The Weeknd and like Taylor Swift probably will, but they're not coming to Surrey. They're going to Vancouver, where there's already a stadium. I just thought it was hilarious to just bring up. Do we want to go into Lucas's discussion topic too? Thoughts on Sportsnet potentially losing radio rights? Also, is podcasting killing the sports radio star? You know what? It's our fault. Like, it's me and you. It's me and you, and we have single-handedly taken down big Sportsnet. Yeah. We haven't really talked about this. I want to hear what your thoughts are.
Actually, I thought the first part we did talk about, because I remember I asked
Maybe you. A little.
Yeah, I remember I asked you last week. It's probably because the Sportsnet, what they're offering to pay the Canucks isn't that much, because they're probably not getting a lot of sponsor money. I know we talked about it very, very briefly last week, but we certainly didn't talk about the second part, is podcasting killing the sports radio.
Well, yeah, the tough thing for radio is everything's ratings driven, obviously, like any entertainment industry. And but all of the ratings that you see and the ratings that actually get published are based on ratings shares. So it's like, what percentage of this demographic is tuning in for this thing? And so you look at Canucks games, and they're about the same as they've always been. The problem is the total audience that they have that share of is way smaller, right? Because, you know, it used to be, you know, back, you know, you think 15, 20 years ago when there were games on like pay-per-view, right? That the radio is huge on, and people were driving around and listening to the game in their cars and stuff. And it was much less accessible to, you know, if you were, let's say you had to drive somewhere during the Canucks game.
Yep.
Your only way of keeping up was on the radio. Sure. But now your passenger can have the Score app on their phone, or you can have, you have the Score and you're just like refreshing it on the side or doing something else. And there's all these other ways of just keeping up with the game. And also the team hasn't been as good as it was, you know, 10 years ago. That, there's just, radio is just a dying industry. You know, radio and newspaper. And yeah, I mean, how much are they really? I think we actually had this money discussion, like how much money is Sportsnet bringing in a game, right?
Right.
And then you compare that with, you know, they have to pay a producer, they have to pay the 2 radio guys, they probably have to pay for travel, they have to, you know, at the end of the day, they're not making any money, probably not a lot at least. Rogers isn't making much money, and so once they get to a certain point where they can only pay a certain amount for the rights, well, then the Canucks probably think, well, let's just bring this in house. Where we don't really have to pay anything. We've got, you know, Joey Kenward on staff or whoever they want to pick. And then, you know, they don't have to, you know, costs get cut pretty quickly.
Yes. All well said. And the fact that when TSN 1040 folded, only Halford and Bruff as show hosts actually went to Sportsnet 650, but Sakaris and Price started their own thing. Don Taylor and Rick Dollywall started their own thing. So, yeah, the different models for sure, but we're starting to see people trying to do their own thing, quite frankly. And so maybe to answer, you know, Lucas's second part, is podcasting killing the sports radio? I don't know if it's killing it, but it's certainly giving, not just podcasting, but streaming shows, whatever it is, certainly giving it another look. By the way, do you listen to Sportsnet? Like if you're driving home from work or a golf game or a social outing, and you can't watch the game, do you actually listen to it on the radio, or do you not like to get spoiled?
That was my next point, is that I remember probably 5 years ago or so, for the summer, I was working at Northview Golf Course.
Nice.
And what I would do every day is I would have a little AM radio in my pocket, and I just have 1040 on all morning, right? That's all I listen to all day. But then, as you know, as the years go on, and you know, over the last couple of years especially, where we have more than enough data on our phones, there's so many different options that are ad free, right? You think of how many ads there are on sports radio, right? And it's, you know, 20 minutes of the hour usually is just advertisements, and the same advertisements over and over. And I'm not the demographic for those advertisements, so they get old pretty quickly. Or I can just have something on my phone where, you know, okay, I have an hour out of my day. Well, I'm not going to just turn on 650 and see what's going on. I'm going to open my podcast app and listen to, you know, Halford and Bruff put out that 1 hour cut of their show every day. Or, you know, I could pull up Donnie and Dolly's show and just have that going with no ads on it.
Right.
You know, why would I tune in to the actual radio when the audio quality is going to be worse? I always have my phone on me. I haven't used the actual radio in my car basically ever, except when there is like a Canucks game on and I'm driving, then I'll have that on. But like if I'm gonna have some sort of content on my car, it's gonna be either music from Spotify or a podcast from my podcast app, and because I always just have my phone plugged into the car, and I'd have no need for radio. Yeah.
So, and if you are representative of a lot of the people out there, then maybe it is a dying form of media, and we're going to see even more of these type of different types of initiatives come up. So yeah, this is fascinating. I think we outlined, CKNW had the rights for 35 years, TSN 1040 had it for 11 years, Sportsnet 5 years, and that adds up to close to 50. And then here we are. We might be on the verge of seeing the Canucks bring it in-house.
Yeah, and you got to think, right? Like, I mean, do they figure out do they just put it in an app at that point even, right? Like, right, you just have an app on your phone, like your podcast app, like Spotify. There already is a Canucks app that most people most Canucks fans probably have just downloaded it at some point and it's just on their phone, right? I only ever use the Canucks app to try to play the trivia games at the Canucks games, and that's it. That's all I use it for. But I have it; it's there. So if suddenly it was, I mean, I think it's already, you can listen to the game on there. But if it's like, hey, if that's just the way it is now, because whatever 70-80% of people have either Bluetooth or CarPlay or Android Auto in their car, anyways. You know, are they going to pay to broadcast it over the air? Are they going to like get all that set up? Like, why would they even bother when they're not going to be losing much market share and saving a bunch of money by just, you know, having it in an app or something along those lines?
Yeah. So well said. So as we move on, viewers, why don't you type in the comment section? Tell us, does this potential move from Sportsnet 650 to in-house, do you care? Does it matter to you, or does it not affect you at all? We'd love to see what you have to say and how it may or may not affect your listening patterns for sure. Yes,
absolutely. All right, next topic. Do you want to? Should we touch on this article and
sure?
So there's sort of, I think, 5, 6, 7 different topics going through here, and they are, the first one's JT Miller, which I don't know if we've talked enough about JT Miller in the past 7 months. How long have we been talking about JT Miller? Either way, it's been a while. Anything new? I mean, was there wasn't much info here, but have your thoughts changed in any way?
They haven't. I actually talked to a lot of work colleagues about JT Miller, and we're resigned to the fact that what happens, man? What happens if the Canucks are battling not just for a playoff spot in the top 3? Imagine if they're feeling actually really good about their playoff chances come trade deadline. Do you keep them, try and get the money, and risk losing them for nothing? That would be crazy, but it might happen.
I would venture to say it probably would happen, right? And it's just what happens with most teams in that position. And I always go back to the one example of a team that didn't do that, and that's St. Louis, right? The year before they won the Stanley Cup. When they went out and traded some of their sort of middling players on expiring deals and said, yeah, we're in a playoff spot, but we're not a contender yet. And that worked out pretty well for them. But that is a hard thing to do in your first year in a market that's already sort of uneasy and stressed and hasn't seen success in a hot minute. You're going to go out there while you're in the playoffs by 3 points or so, or maybe even by maybe you are in a good spot, right? Maybe you got a nice little like 7-point cushion on fourth place in the division, right? Where you're basically at like 85% chance of making the playoffs, let alone, you know, at that point, maybe you're even a coin flip to win the first round. You're going to go trade a guy who maybe is on pace for 90 points. It's I mean, we've had this conversation a million times, but it's who knows?
Yeah. And I think it's one thing for Parker, for you and me to take the viewpoint of a fan and saying, okay, yeah, we got to recoup assets. But what are you saying to the guys in your room who've worked their butt off? They make it to the playoff bar, and then you trade one of your best, if not your best player away. Yeah. Wow. It'll be, we keep saying, but it's going to be interesting to watch. So I think we're good with JT Miller from a standpoint. I think we've talked about him enough.
Okay. Bo Horvat, who doesn't have a contract.
Yes.
Or an extension at the very least.
Yeah. I believe they made the point in the article that there's nothing to worry about just yet, but it might not as being a slam dunk as they thought it might have been at the start.
Yeah. And it just, they're mentioning it's all down to the flat cap, right? There's no money to really throw around, especially with that Mikheyev contract, you know, that gums it up a little bit, I'm sure, but no money there. The next one is a blue line move before training camp. That's the one of the more interesting ones, because generally, I mean, this defense isn't good enough.
You know, there's it wasn't in this article, but unrelated to that, or related to that, I should say, someone wrote about possibly trying Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Hughes together on a top pairing, utilize them more to get OEL basically scoring a bit, and then that either of them are good enough to play on the right side to try it. That would be fascinating. It evens it out a little bit. Only if Pullman's hurt, of course. Only if
right.
Pullman's
And then the problem is that if it doesn't work,
yeah.
I mean, we're back where we started. And it might work. It just also might not. And that's the, they potentially PTO they're mentioning.
Yeah.
But apparently they feel they have the flexibility required to add another $1 million plus contract to their books.
Okay.
Modeling suggests numbers in the 1.3 million range. So
Right,
you're not getting, you're getting a Brad Hunt or a Luke Shen or something along those lines for that money. You're not getting, a stud defenseman that you might be hoping for.
Yes. And I want to just recognize Coach Rob, who gifted a Canucks After Dark membership, which is cool. It's weird. We can't show it though, right? On our screen.
I can't show it. I'm matching it though.
Oh, well, and Parker just bought one. Awesome. We're still going to figure out what memberships are getting, part of season 3. We're going to actually figure out what these memberships mean, but we appreciate the support nonetheless, Coach Rob, whoever that ends up going to. And thank you, Parker, for adding to it as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. What else we got? Mike Dipietro.
Yep. Yeah.
Honestly, in my mind, he's been gone for a while.
Yes.
After a couple months ago or whatever, I don't even remember what happened, but I just sort of, I forgot, my brain just, to avoid the hurt, just blocked him off out of my memory. He's gone.
Are you disappointed? Will you be disappointed when he actually goes?
I mean, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but they took a shot on a goalie. He was a 3rd-round pick. I mean, they don't make it often, right? Goalies don't make sense. So they took a shot. It was a decent shot at the time. Didn't necessarily work out. I mean, we're not usually this broken about most 3rd-round picks, right? So, they don't always pan out.
Right. Well, everyone being so generous. Look at Shannon. Shannon gifts 5 Canucks After Dark memberships. So thank you, Shannon.
Thank you, Shannon.
For that generosity as well. We're going to have more members than viewers, Parker.
Perfect. Next one is Tucker Pullman and the state of the right side. So back on the defense. Apparently the club is more optimistic about Pullman's health right now. Now, Drance is calling it would be a tremendous boost for the club. Now, I'm never going to call Tucker Pullman a tremendous boost to anything, but apparently could be back at some point, not too far down the line.
What do you think he can max out at? Like when Tucker Pullman's good, what's he doing well?
He's getting 6 points. He's going to be a -8.
Yeah.
And he's going to play 15 minutes and 42 seconds a night.
Can I hold you to that for our predictions?
Number for number.
Okay.
I think that's best case.
Yeah. He was okay in the preseason. Okay, it wasn't great. And then, his play wasn't great. Maybe he was. I don't want to rag too hard on the guy, although because we have him for another 3 years at $2.5 million, which seems like a lot. It doesn't sound like anyone else was offering him that type of money. I don't want to keep living in the past, but that's $2.5 million that you want him to be healthy for him. But if he's not, because of migraines or recurring concussion, whatever it may be, or recurring migraines, that is some serious LTIR money potentially. I'm not wishing that on anyone, but that's the reality of it.
Yeah, he still gets his 10 mil. All right, he'll obviously though, like migraine and stuff like that. You don't want that. You don't want to mess with that.
Yeah.
And the last thing in this article was training camp preparation, because no Travis Green at this training camp, which we've we're not gonna get that Olli Juolevi-esque man looking like he has died in the corner.
That was a bad look.
Wasn't a great look, but I don't know much about Boudreau's camp style. According to this, on ice sessions are more systems based than fitness focused, which to me makes sense, right? You're trying to get everyone together as a team. The fitness stuff, I kind of like the one day to all right, you guys better be, you got to show up in shape. But getting everyone on the same page is remarkably important.
Yes, especially because Bruce Boudreau hasn't had. Remember, he came in December 5th last year, so he hasn't had actually a training camp, a full year with this club. We got used to. We had 4 Travis Green training camps, highlighted by those bag skates. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because we're working in at least 4 or 5 new players. Obviously, the 4 new forwards in Lazar, Joshua, Kuzmenko, and Mikheyev as well. So maybe he's going to presume a certain level of fitness as a professional athlete, and he's going to spend indeed more, as you said, more time on the systems, on the on ice work, as opposed to and trying to find chemistry between his guys right away.
Yeah, and this team, we saw the turnaround right from December 4th onwards.
Yeah,
they need that latter half to be what the whole season is, right?
Yep.
So they need everyone on the same page gelling, because remember, that was a lot of the issues that they did have even under Bruce Boudreau when they were on that, on that good stretch. A lot of that was, a bit luck driven, because they weren't gelling super well. But if they can get that worked out, I mean, they need to give themselves the best chance they can from day one.
Yeah, and thank you, Lucas, for donation, $5. Are we gonna? So Parker, do you predict we are gonna hear Bruce? There it is again at Rogers Arena?
Oh yeah, that's not dying as long as unless they don't win a game for a while. But other than that, I think they'll be fine. I think they need to win. I mean, they start on a 5-game road trip, right?
Yep.
Only scary part is if they go like 1-4 on that road trip. And then it's like, all right, well, the chance might not happen for a little bit, right? They might need a little winning streak for those to kick in. So, win 3 of the first 5, come back, win that first game at home against Buffalo, and then I'm sure those chances will start up.
Absolutely, sounds good. Okay, should we do 10 to 15 minutes of rapid fire question and answer?
Sure, let's do it. I'm going to try to star some. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. If there's any that catch your eye.
Yep.
Let me know.
Okay, that's cool. Now I'm confused. So okay, that's good. So do you put the starred ones up and we'll talk about them?
I can. I'm scrolling back up to see if we missed any. And then I want you to just grab any that you see for right now. So you're in charge.
Okay, well, I'll do one here. This is the first time I'm doing this.
It worked.
Yeah, thank you. See, Parker, you're a good teacher. Gio Reber says, will we see the Canucks After Dark 24-hour live stream? I don't know if I'm going to try and do a second annual. Of course, Parker's going to be one of my guests. I'll let him choose his hour this time as opposed to filling in somewhere. But I don't know if we would be able to do one together I don't know if we have to as Canucks After Dark.
Yeah, because then there would be before dark, during the day. We'd have to change the name too many times.
Yeah.
So that can't happen.
But no, we will find ways to collab outside of here for sure.
We'll do something.
Yep.
Cody asks, which players do you see getting PTOs as far as remaining free agents? My PTO eligible knowledge isn't great.
Yeah. Oh, I just went to Cap Friendly another day and looked at the guy. PK Subban sounds like an absolute quintessential like PTO kind of guy. Because I don't think he's going to get a contract.
Yeah. So I found the Canucks already put an article out a few weeks ago. They have Zach Aston Reese on their list.
Okay.
Josh Brook, who I had never heard of. Alex Chason.
Yeah.
Alex Chason, of course, who was at 8 Rinks today. Calvin DeHaan, Johan Larson, Ryan Murray, Brett Ritchie, Dominic Simon, and Anton Strawman. So just a bunch of excellent players.
Well, that kind of goes right with Lucas's question. Players that you were surprised to see that. So are any of those guys a surprise to you?
Aston Reese a little bit. Because he's still, he's 27 years old. He put up, only 15 points last year, right? Not great. Yeah. And he's only ever really been not a super high point getter, right? The previous year he was 15 points in 45 games, but like he's a third line winger, fourth line winger. Made 1.7 last year. He's probably going to get less than that, right? Based on the winger market right now, it's very much a team friendly market. But he played in Pittsburgh his whole career under Rutherford, and then played, after the deadline for Anaheim. So,
right,
I could see him. I don't know why that thing said he was 27. He's clearly 28 years old. I guess that article was written 8 days before his birthday. So
right.
I think they'd schedule that out for either way. He's 28 years old. So I could see him, getting picked up, but I'm not going to say that the Canucks are going to be on that list.
I'm with you. The one name that stands out to me is I think may get signed before. I've been interested in Anton Stroman. I don't love him. I don't want him on the Canucks, but I do think he's got some good experience that would be good for a team. So we'll see. But there's, I guess, a lot of guys like that. Market's drying up. Market is drying up. I said the market's drying up.
Yeah, I think something about Marcus, and I was like, Marcus just asked who Kalanick is. What? All right. Too. I like this question from Peter that you starred here. Who's most likely to score first, Myers or Dickinson?
Okay, on the count of three, we're just going to say who we think it is. You ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Dickinson. There we go.
All right. There we have a wager. I mean, how many goals does Tyler Myers score a year? Like 4?
Dickinson had that amazing breakaway goal last year.
Oh, I did just pick the guy who scored 1 goal last year.
What did Dickinson get? At least 3.
What's going on up there?
They're coming after you.
Dickinson had 5.
Oh!
That's okay. Hey,
I'm not giving you 5 to 1.
Okay, just takes 1. Yeah, you shouldn't give me 5 to 1 on that. All right, what else do we got? Does Chason resign? Or this is resign. Maybe he just quits.
Yeah, we'll go with the first one. Resign. I don't think so.
Nope.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
There's no space. Space. Yeah.
What else we got? Kodiak asks if you're going to the home opener. What's your first game of the year that you're planning on?
I think we joked about this last time. I'm actually not going on Saturday night, the 22nd. I'm working, but I am going. I want to go on Monday night, the 24th. I'm not sure how
we did discuss that because we were talking about our scheduling. Because that is a Monday night.
Yeah, I know.
That's okay though. We'll make it work.
Yeah, and it's a late one too. It's 7:30. So
yeah, it's a real late one.
Yeah,
it's too late.
Are you going to home opener?
I'm not going to a home opener. I'm going to a game before that, but actually 2 games before that. But I'm not.
You'll share that closer. Yeah, okay.
I'll share. I don't know. It's not really a secret, but
it's kind of cool.
It's more the mystery is more fun.
Yeah,
I'll let you guys figure it. I'll let you guys figure that one out.
You told me, and I still can't remember, so it's even better.
Well, fair enough. Okay, check those off the list.
Yeah.
Jaskaran, Quinn Hughes and Pettersson points and plus-minus projection. I think we've done Pettersson last week. I'm gonna go. Hughes gets 75 points. Pettersson gets 80 points.
Well, I like that.
My numbers will change every single time because I'm not going to remember what they were.
Yeah, I would go.
When we do our actual predictions, they will be different.
Yeah, I go Hughes 70, PD 80. I know. I've always think PD is a point a game for sure. So if he's healthy for the majority of the season, 80 points sounds right. Hughes is interesting because I think I actually think he can even get more. But yeah, 70 is a lot. What did he get last year? 62?
I think he had 66.
66?
Am I crazy?
That sounds right, actually.
Hughes, 68.
Wow. Okay, so 70 is very realistic, obviously.
So yeah, 70 might be low.
Yeah.
What else do we got?
I started this one because we kind of talked about it a little bit. This guy, not this guy, Peter. This question: do you guys prefer Hughes on the right side, or if the pairing does happen? So Parker, I could see Hughes going to the right side because of how good of a skater he is and making up for any tough, weird-handed, off-handed deficiencies. I also think though that Ekman Larsson is he's more experienced, and I think he's got the hockey IQ to make it work. So I don't know. Maybe for me though, if I had to pick one, I'd put Quinn on the right and just see what happens.
I'm trying to think about it as a defenseman.
Yeah,
because I play D, and I am atrocious at playing the left side as a right-handed defenseman. It is so much harder just to pull the puck off the wall, and just everything is more difficult. You're breaking out of your own zone. You're coming out from behind your own net. You're now holding the puck close to the net, right?
Yeah,
because you're on the wrong side.
Correct.
All that stuff. So I think I'd rather Ekman Larsson on the offside.
I like it.
Quinn in the sweet spot, but again, I think that's one of those things you have to run. You have to test out and see how things end up.
Right. Okay. Wonder if it'll happen. I'm kind of curious, but we'll see.
We will see.
Yeah. What else?
What else do we have? Marcus asks, where in the lineup does Travis Dermott play? We need room for Rathbone. We still have Burrows and Pullman. So who starts? That's a lot of depth and not a lot of lineup players.
If Pullman does not play and the Canucks do not put OEL or Hughes on the right side, I think it could be Hughes, Shen, OEL, Myers, and then you go Rathbone, Dermott as your third pairing if there's no Pullman. If Pullman does play, then you could go Pullman, Dermott.
Yeah, I think Rathbone's just in the A at that point.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. I like Rathbone. I think he's a really good player. But I don't think it's, you could just waive Pullman, though, and then maybe he gets picked up. But probably not.
Yeah. Fair enough. Parker, how many shutouts does Demko get this season?
5.
Wow, you're ambitious. I'll say 3.
Is that ambitious? Is that not a normal number for goalies nowadays?
Yeah, not what it's Canucks goalies.
He did have 1 last year.
That's what I mean.
Huh. I really thought he had more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is that a normal number? Like 5 shutouts? I guess that is a lot, hey?
No, it is a lot when you think about it. But yes, the really good goalies get 8, 9, but they're really good goalies. And Demko's a really good goalie, but he's not behind a really good defense, though.
My bad.
Yeah, that's all right.
I've been over ambitious on some of my predictions today.
I think we were last season. It
was tough.
Lucas wants to ask you if you've played NHL 23.
Well, it's not out yet, so no. I think the franchise changes are going to be interesting, but I'm not super. I'll buy it day one as I always do, but I'm not super invested.
And thank you for the donation, Lucas. Very generous of you. Yeah, as always. I like Steve speculating. Parker is watching a game in Edmonton.
I don't know. If I told you, I guess I did say I'm going to 2 before the Canucks play a game at home, and there are 5 to choose from.
There are.
So the Edmonton one is one of the 5 potentially.
It's awesome. We have 81 people in here. They're going to be sad when
what are you guys doing here? It's August 29th. More questions. We're close to the 40-minute mark. Let's get a few more questions here.
Yeah, let's keep going. This is great.
We'll keep going until we need to.
Yeah.
Let's see. Scrolling up a bit.
Sure. I should do that too.
Peter says, "Who's more boring, Travis Green or Willie Desjardins?" It's obviously Willie.
Yeah, it was Willie.
It's Willie by a mile.
Isn't it crazy how the Canucks made the playoffs in Willie's first year, though?
Yeah, and then he kept rolling the lines in the playoffs, giving the Sedins 16 minutes a night. That was frustrating.
Clone says, just shoot me in response to that question.
Sorry, that's the same one. Jaskran says, Pullman will win the Norris. I will give you any odds on that for any amount of money.
Remember, Jaskran likes you a lot more than he likes me, so don't make him upset. Yeah,
I will wager my entire life earnings today till the day I die. 10
wow. You heard it here first, you guys.
I'll do it 100 to 1. What else was there? I like this one from Debut Hunter. Sort of ceiling and floor of the Canucks this year. Like, we can think of this as like spot in the standings, or we can think about this as points. Highest possible finish, lowest possible finish.
Let's go standings.
Standings is easier.
Yeah. If I'm being realistic, you could always say first and all the way to 8th. But if I'm being realistic, I really think it's 3 to 5. I really do. I do not see them falling below San Jose, Anaheim, or Arizona. I really don't.
You mean Seattle?
Yes. Excuse me. Yes, I said Arizona. Yes. Yeah, you're right. Seattle.
Yeah. 5 is the floor in my mind.
Yeah.
And I think 3 is the ceiling. I think 2 is like everything goes perfectly. But I think 3 is the right. Like I'm just thinking, they get ahead of Vegas and LA, and then Edmonton falls apart or something, right?
Right.
But
Right.
again, I think 3 to 5 is sort of the most likely, and then you're going to want to be 3, right? That's going to be the ticket for the Canucks. So
Yeah.
yeah, points wise, I would say 90 to 100,
Yeah.
somewhere
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, I think they could do 99 to 101 as their top. Yeah, and you're right. They could. I don't see them. This is an 80-point team. Yeah. 90 to 100 that sounds exactly right from third to fifth. Yeah.
And that's about 50-50 on making the playoffs, right? You get around 95, 96, and
Yes.
that's where playoff bar last year was 97 in the West. So
wow. Yeah. So actually, think about that, Parker. Say 97 or 98 points. I've been using the term. So if I said to you the Canucks need to go 44, 28, and 10, that's 16 games over 500. That's 98 points. Does that sound realistic to you? 44, 28, and 10. That's 98.
That sounds hard.
Yeah, it does.
That sounds tough. Yeah, I would say that's going to be that's their peak. I would say something like 42 wins is probably a little more likely, and then 10 OTLs, 9 OTLs, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be right on that bubble.
Yeah. So you're exactly right. A 42, 30, and 10 season. Yeah, 42, 30, and 10 is 12 games. That's 94 only. Yeah, that's the bubble. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It'll be interesting.
I'm optimistic. I can't wait till they do so. I just want to start.
Get it started. I mean, we've got what? We got one Young Stars in 3 weeks. We got preseason in 4 weeks. September 25th. Split squad. Games at the same time. It's terrible. Why do they do that? Like, what's the point? Because then they don't play for 4 days.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
They could have gone back to back or even skip a day. Yeah, but
we're just done. 25th, 27th, 29th.
Yeah. It's a weird schedule.
It is a weird schedule. Maybe there's some concerts or something.
I'm actually surprised you went to the weekend. I didn't know that'd be your kind of music, honestly.
It was a very last minute decision.
Okay.
It was evening before.
Yeah. Was it as warm in there as people were saying?
It was hot.
Oh.
It was probably like 28 degrees in there, 30 degrees in there. It was you forgot about it once things were gone, but they had the roof closed, which was unfortunate. They had some pyro, which was hot, and it was just stuffy in there for sure.
Yeah. I went to the Lions game on Friday night, so probably only 25 half of the people that were maybe at the concert or whatever, but it was very comfortable, and they didn't open the roof.
That's good.
They didn't win. You probably heard. Unfortunately, their second string quarterback got hurt too, so it's gonna be tough.
Oh boy.
I know.
This is why I get invested.
Yeah, smart.
Anything else that we've got here?
We're gonna Bruce, the one that he just asked, can players still get bought out? And if so, who should get bought out? There is a second buyout window, right? That's coming up. I'm pretty sure there's a second buyout window.
I never keep track of the buyouts.
It was something like after
buyouts.
Yeah.
Buyouts are from June 15th or 48 hours after playoffs ends until June 30th. Teams may receive an additional buyout window if they have a player go to arbitration.
Oh.
They get a new 48-hour buyout window beginning 3 days after the settlement award or award. Only contracts eligible at that point are greater than $4 million cap hits and on the roster at the previous trade deadline. So no, I think there's no buyouts for basically anyone. Did anything get through arbitration?
No, I don't remember seeing anything about that.
Yeah, so I think we are buyout free.
Yeah. Okay.
There was one. Trenin, Yakov Trenin, who got 2 years, $3.4 million, and that was it.
Okay. Does that mean who's that? Nashville? I don't know who that is.
Nashville, yeah.
So does that mean Nashville can then buy out only Trenin or anyone on their roster?
So they can only buy out players who are making more than $4 million a year.
Oh,
but they could only do it from August 5th to 8th.
Right. which is passed, obviously.
So,
okay.
That is it.
Oh, good. You learn something new every day.
Yes.
Perfect.
All right. It's 7:45. I think
Perfect.
we said we were going to go 45 minutes. I think we kind of nailed it.
Yeah, that's good.
So, folks, thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. I'm going to throw another thing in here. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like button. You can find both of us at our Twitters, which are down here, ParkersPucks, Canuck Clay. You can see those. And yeah, Clay's got a show going on September 11th that he's starting up.
2 weeks,
I am completely to be determined on what we're doing for this season. So make sure you're subscribed to me as well, and maybe you'll find out. All right. Clay, any parting words for the night?
Well, we made it to the end of August. We did well. We were consistent even when we were away. We made it work. So I don't want to say hope and pray, but I'm hoping that we have some actual substantial stuff to talk about starting next week.
Yeah, I will say, I think you're starting your show too early. September 11th, you're going to have a tough couple of weeks. All right.
Yeah. Thanks for the warning.
You're welcome. That's all from us, folks. Have a good rest of your week. We will see you next Monday. Talk to you all later.